I'm Victoria Jane and this is Series 2 of Vic Meets live at Nells.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm so excited to try these.
Brought my own napkins.
Oh, well prepared. I'm currently with Robbie Cavanagh. Oh my God, I was going to say you messed up your name. Cavanagh.
That's it.
Do you get a lot of people doing that with your name?
Yeah, that's quite a common thing. I think I used to really care about it, and now I've realised it doesn't really matter. Yeah. As long as it's spelt right, so you can still find me, I don't think it really matters that much at all.
Robbie, I'm so glad to have you here at Nells. Talk to me about how you first started in music. Like, what was your first experience of songwriting?
I think I learned a lot of stuff about music from my dad. Oh. Actually, my parents in general, they just listened to a lot of music. There was always records playing in the house. So yeah, my dad kind of introduced me to music, and there was always a guitar lying around, I think just as a prop really in the house. So but I think I had this thing where I'd be like, if I'd listened to a record and really liked it, I get to the end of it and then I'm like, I need more of this, but it's already, the album's finished. So then I'd pick up the guitar and be like, well, I'm just gonna have to make some. If the album's finished, I'm gonna have to make some more music myself. And I'm sure that sounded really bad for a long time. I think for a long time I didn't use my left hand, so I was just like strumming open strings, which was sounding really bad. But yeah, that's kind of where I started. I think was just realizing that I wanted to make more of what I was listening to. So like my dad introduced me to a lot of like James Taylor and Elton John, and some more kind of rock bands like the Kinks and Led Zeppelin and bands like that. So yeah, I just listened to a lot of that, and I think then just wanted to recreate it, and that's where it kind of started.
I love that. I love that so much. And have you always lived in Manchester?
In and around, yeah. I was born in Wigan originally, but yeah, I've kind of lived around Manchester, and it's always been my local city, I guess. So I've always travelled here. I used to work at the Manchester Opera House.
Oh, really?
For a long time.
Did you get free access to the concerts?
Yeah, well, I used to. Yeah, part of my job really was just standing inside the auditorium when a show was on. So I got to see a lot of shows, and actually, I found that really interesting as a performer, was to see. You know, when a show's on for like 2 weeks and every night you see the show and you see these developments in it and the way that, you know, it's the same show but maybe they respond differently to something, or something gets a really big laugh one night so the next night they exaggerate that. And like seeing the way that performers edit slightly, even subconsciously edit what they're doing through the show is really fascinating. I loved working there. It was a really, really cool experience.
That's so interesting. It's great that you've had that experience. I mean, how has Manchester influenced you in your sound? Because your sound is a mix of so many things. It's so soulful. I feel like your voice is very soulful, but there's so many different genres and styles in your music.
Yeah, I mean, I always find it interesting when you learn where any artist is from, because I think it does have such a big impact in their sound, even if it's subconscious. Like, there's always, you know, like artists that come from California or like sunny, like surfing towns. There's a sound there, and then Scottish bands have a particular sound that feels like Scotland, even if it's not traditional Celtic music. But I find that really interesting. And I guess Manchester's always been the place that I've spent the most time. And I guess my music really has a lot of American influence, but I think I've learned a lot of that through people that I've met in Manchester and going to open mic nights when I was younger, and all my favourite bands I've seen here in venues around Manchester. So I think in that way, that's the way that I kind of took influence from Manchester, was just existing here and meeting people. And it is, well, Britain in general, but Manchester's such an international city that there's people from all around the world that live here and work here. And I think that's kind of how I see my music, is that it's kind of like a melting pot of all of these things that come from everywhere.
100%.
It's the same with the food in Manchester. Like, you can walk down a street and have food from every continent, and that's a really cool thing about the city. And
it's an amazing city.
Yeah, it's so good.
Tell me about the song you're performing today as well. How is it making that?
So it's a song called Helpless, and yeah, that's a track off my latest record, Tough Love, that I released last year. And yeah, that's a really fun song actually. It's got a real sort of kind of soul, gospel kind of vibe to it. It was really fun in the studio because there was quite a lot of us in there. And we recorded it mainly live, so there was like 5 of us in the room just recording it, and it kind of, I love recording that way because you get to kind of respond to each other. I find it really strange when you record, so like, you know, the drummer goes in and records his part and then the bassist
separately,
and it just feels like you spend your life traveling around playing music with these people, and then you take away all of that like human interaction and just do one thing at a time. So we really wanted to record that way. So yeah, I took a band in and we recorded live in the studio, and we had like we all got about 10 people in to do like big vocal sessions on it, and it's just a really fun song. I think it was the first time that I kind of realised, you know, it's really important to just commit to something. So I wanted it to be like a funky, like soul song. So I was like, let's just double down on that and like not be too precious about it. Just really dig in and make it a soul song if it's going to be that. And I really enjoy it. I feel like it's a song where I can kind of let loose vocally as well.
Yeah.
I really can just.
It's interesting you say fun, because it's such an emotional song when I hear it. So I'm excited to see how you perform it. How you.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess.
Take on it.
I guess there's always. I mean, most of the stuff I write has got some emotion to it in that respect. But I think, yeah, performance-wise, it just feels more fun. And whenever I play it live, I always see that's the song where people kind of respond in the audience and kind of go, oh, okay, I'm going to move to this, which is it's really nice. Yeah, it's fun.
Oh gosh. So what have you got coming up next? What can people look forward to?
So I'm coming to the end of the campaign for this album, really, I suppose. So yeah, like over a year now, I've been traveling around the world playing these songs for people and trying to sell the album. And I'm really excited to be kind of coming to the tail end of that and starting to think about new music. I've written a lot of stuff that is kind of just sat in my back pocket, and it's going to be a time when I kind of go back into the studio with my band and start working on these songs and deciding where it's going to go, how it's going to develop from the last record, what's going to be the same and what's going to be like intentionally different. It's an exciting time, I think, for me. I guess maybe I'll disappear a little bit publicly, but it's an exciting time to do that. And I've got some travel coming up. I'm going to spend some time in Canada.
Oh, amazing!
Doing some shows out there and doing some co-writing.
Right.
But yeah, in terms of my own music, it's really kind of the end of an era, I suppose, which is quite exciting.
It's exciting.
And start again. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for everything, and I can't wait to hear you perform the track. Should we tuck in? I'm excited for this as well. I am.
This is the real reason.
This is the real deal. And I always want to know if people are a folder or just like dive straight in. Some people, fold the pizza.
That just means you can get more in your mouth at once. That's what it's all about. That's my life's motto.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the cheers.
Do you cheers pizza? I don't know.
See, I've been on my own 1,000 times before, but that was before you, before I was in love. It seems like I am happy for a minute, then you're walking out of my door. Help me find somebody else to love me. Well, if you're gonna leave me lonely, well, it ain't kind to leave somebody without love. Go ahead and call me selfish. Well, I don't deserve nobody else, baby. Well, truth is, without you I'd be helpless. But I know you'd be helpless too. don't understand, no, why you didn't call it a day, and now it's up to you to send me on my way. It seems like I'm happy for a minute, then you're walking out of my door. Help me find somebody else to hold me. Well, if you're gonna leave me lonely, well, it ain't kind to leave somebody without love. Go ahead and call me selfish, but I don't deserve nobody else, baby. Well, truth is, without you I'd be helpless. Well, but I know you'd be helpless too. Well, suddenly I'm wide awake, 'cause I cannot sleep alone. Wide awake, 'cause I cannot sleep alone. Help me find somebody else to hold me. Well, if you're gonna leave me lonely, well, it ain't kind to leave somebody without love. Well, go ahead and call me selfish, but I don't deserve nobody else, baby. Well, truth is, without you I'll be helpless. Yeah. Well, but I know you'd be helpless too. Well, truth is, without you I'd be helpless. But I know you'd be helpless too.